Kia everybody, my name is Corey Ranger, the Community Development Manager for the Metro Central Junior Football Conference, and welcome to the 2022 virtual Bouncedown meeting for our Junior Conference. I'd like to start by acknowledging that we're meeting today on the lands of the Whadjuk Noongar people, and we'd like to pay respects to elders both past, present and emerging. Today we launch season 2022, and it's incredible to think that we've got another junior season up and running with COVID now in the state. But mark my words, the season's starting in a couple of weeks' time, and we're looking forward to it. On behalf of the WAFC, the Metro Central RDC, our umpire associations, we'd like to thank you for all your efforts during the off-season in recruiting and retaining players to our game. It's incredible the amount of work that we're seeing from junior clubs on your social medias. You're now back at training, which is really great to see, and a season's just a couple of weeks away. So we really appreciate all the work that you've put in this year, and we look forward to seeing you out there for round one in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you for stepping up as a volunteer at your club. It's a thankless role at times, so we really appreciate all the work that you're going to put into this season to help our kids and to also support the growth of the game within the East Perth, Perth and Swans districts zones. On this video, you'll hear from our competitions team, who will give you an update in terms of our junior competition and our rules and regs. And you'll also hear from Christian as well, our coaching coordinator, around coaching education and also our accreditation process this year. But without any further ado, I would like to introduce to you now our Regional Development Council Chair, Travis Burrows, who will open season 2022.
The Bouncedown meeting sets some very clear guidelines for everyone out in clubland. As a former junior club president and having been around our clubs for a long time now, I understand the importance of this meeting. Some of us may even think this is a little bit monotonous, but it's very important that at the start of the season we all refresh ourselves and understand very clearly what we're expecting this season. As we now come out of COVID, and hopefully we don't have too much of an impact this season, I'd like to think that we can have a relatively seamless season. You'll notice that the RDC board has had a few changes to personnel, particularly Tony Pickburn in the Demons district and Graham Hadley as the WAFL delegate. Overarchingly for us as a conference, we have our strategy, which drives everything that we look at as a central conference. And as we move forward, clubs will see, particularly this season, some new initiatives that we are working on as a board. On the back of the strategic plan, clubs will notice this season that we've developed some rather detailed strategic plans, which have been now communicated to all stakeholders, including the WAFL clubs. It's hoped that these stakeholders now have a clear understanding of the development and some of the areas that we are focusing on as a Regional Development Council. As volunteers and coaches, we play such an important role in the life and development of our players. We should not underestimate the impact that this has on the young lives of our players as they move through our clubs, from Auskick, through mods and into youth football and beyond in their junior football years. Importantly, our role is to ensure we appropriately develop these kids for the best and most enjoyable football journey that they can have, regardless of the level of football that they end up playing. Importantly, we want to see them remain in the game and passionate followers of our great game. I'd like to thank everyone for their attendance, and we'll now hand back to Corey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Travis. As some of you might be aware, this is our staffing structure heading into the 2022 season. Pleasingly this year we're going to have a full team again with the appointments of our 3 new development officers. So we have Z, Zach and Josh joining our team only last month, and their roles effectively going into schools and promoting junior clubs and working really closely with your Auskick coordinators out there in clubland. As you might be aware, we have Dee Moore leading our competitions, with Claire and Katrina assisting around the comp admin space. And later today, you'll also hear from Christian, who is our coaching coordinator. But effectively, this is our structure heading into the 2022 season. As you'll see on the screen, our team's priority areas this season centres around participation, competitions and game development. We're really keen to get into schools to promote your junior clubs. We're also really keen to ensure that our competitions are fair, consistent and equal, to ensure that we're attracting and retaining as many players as we can to the game of football. We're going to be working really closely with club presidents around club development areas and working in partnership with our WAFL clubs, East Perth Swans and Perth, in terms of community engagement initiatives this year. Our key focus, as you'll see on here, is clearly participation, competitions and game development. This season, our umpire managers remain the same. So we have Dion at the Perth District Umpires Association, Lewis Williams, who's doing a really great job with his group out at East Perth, and Jack and Jeff Fay Gilmore have joined again this season to be our Swan District's umpire managers. Okay, let's take a look back at our gala night last year, where we had our volunteer awards function at the Perth Town Hall. And I just want to call out some of our award winners in the Perth District last year. A fantastic effort from all clubs and volunteers within the Perth District. It was amazing to see our volunteers being recognised in that format. So a big congratulations to the Perth District Volunteer Award winners. If we move over to the East Perth District as well, really great to see some key volunteers recognised at our gala night, and also a new life member within the district, Paul Robinson. Over to Swans, a real diverse range of clubs there recognised on the night, with Bassendean taking out a few awards, and also our competitions team leader, Dee Moore, rewarded with life membership for her volunteer efforts over the last 10 to 15 years within the Swan Zone. So fantastic to see so many clubs and volunteers recognised at our function last year. So a big virtual round of applause for those volunteers. During the off-season, we've had a number of clubs come out to us requesting information around COVID-19 and how the junior season will look this year. For everyone watching at home, there is a key resource tab on the WA Football website, so wafootball.com.au/COVID-19. It's basically a one-stop shop for all COVID-19 policies heading into the season. So if you're not familiar with any of the policies or resources or templates surrounding COVID-19, check out the website. It's regularly updated and will guide and assist you in managing COVID-19 at your club this season. Okay, for the information I'm sure you're all eager to see, our season dates for this year. So as you would be aware in Clubland, the season will start on Friday the 29th of April, Friday night footy. It's really exciting, only a couple of weeks away. Our season length will be 14 home and away rounds, as it has been the last number of years. Our competition regrade for youth teams will happen after round 5. Our WA Day buys and school holiday buys are as seen on the screen, with our 2-week break from the 1st of July through to the 10th of July. Our final home and away round will be the 19th to the 21st of August, and our final series will be the same as it's been in previous years, with a top 4, which follows a similar model to the old WAFL final structure. So there are your key dates heading into this season. Okay, we'd like to now reinforce our bylaws this season, Bylaws 1 and Bylaws 2, which are the spirit of junior football and supporting our umpires. As you'll see on the screen right now are our key bylaws, Bylaws 1 and Bylaws 2, spirit of junior football and supporting our umpires. So here are some key takeouts from those bylaws. And as you would know, we do not want to focus on winning at all costs. We see some crazy things out there from time to time from those that are focused on winning. We want to stamp that out this year, because we want to ensure that the kids are going out there and having a fun, safe and fair game of footy, and we really want to maximise the enjoyment for everyone. We want to ensure there's fairness, equality, respect and teamwork that are encouraged and celebrated. We want to hear the great stories that are happening within our conference. And we want to ensure that everyone is upholding, promoting and protecting the rules, laws and codes and policies of our game, especially in relation to junior football, and not accept any poor behaviour around our game. We want to ensure that our junior conference, the Metro Central League, is the safest junior competition in Australia. Okay, next we're looking at part 2, which is bylaw 2, supporting our umpires. So WA Football and the Metro Central Junior Football League has a zero tolerance stance against any form of umpire or official abuse, something that we're going to be really red hot on this year. And a key one that we've pulled out of the bylaw 2 is players, officials, parents and spectators are not permitted to comment about the umpire or the performance of an umpire in any way. That's a key message that we want to really drive home today, that you cannot comment about the umpire or the performance of the umpire in any way. A lot of our umpires are first-year umpires, they're kids trying to learn the rules of the game, and they need your support. So we're calling on everyone watching this video right now to protect our umpires, to ensure they continue their umpire pathway, and ensure that they're provided also with a safe and fair environment. Okay, now we're going to look at our themed rounds, and we've been industry leading in this area over the last few years. So this year, again, we're going to be doing the same. So themed rounds this year, round 1 will be Anzac Day. Anzac Day falls on the Monday beforehand. However, clubs out in the conference have been doing some great work in inviting local servicemen in with a minute's silence before the game. We will provide framework for clubs. However, it's up to each and every club and team whether or not they want to acknowledge Anzac Day. We move ahead to round 3, so umpire recognition round. Again, a really great initiative that all clubs have been a part of over the last few years. And we're seeing some really great photos after these games of the umpires and our teams together with a snap. And we're really keen to share those photos again this year. So a preamble speech will be provided for all clubs, and we'd love to see those before and after game photos with the umpires. It's a really great way to recognise our umpires and the work that they do in supporting the junior football competition. Now this is a really exciting initiative that we brought in last year. It's our club volunteers round. So it's an opportunity for our volunteers to suit up in junior club colours and play a social AFL 9s or AFLX version of the game. We're really excited to enhance and invest in this concept. So for clubs that weren't involved last year, we really encourage you to suit up this year. It's a really great night. So that will be happening this year on Friday the 3rd of June with a venue to be confirmed. So your presidents will filter that information down to you. So if you want to play the game, there's a really good opportunity on June 3rd to do so. This year again will be our charity round, so we will be supporting Soccer to Sarcoma and potentially another charity along the way as well. So that will happen on round 8, Friday the 24th of June to the 26th of June. In the past, we've raised over $30,000 over the last 2 seasons in partnership with Metro North in the charity that raises awareness around cancer research to do with sarcoma. So Odd Socks, we really encourage every team to embrace it this year and to also donate to what is a really important charity. We move forward now to our NAIDOC round, round 9, which will happen on Friday the 15th of July to the 17th of July. It's an area that we've been industry leading on. Almost every club last year did some form of recognition in terms of Indigenous and Torres Strait Islander acknowledgement. We're seeing most of our clubs out there adopt junior club Indigenous jumpers, which is fantastic. We really encourage those that haven't yet to do so. But there's lots of ways that your club can acknowledge and recognise the Indigenous culture. As you'll see on the slides, there's some really good photos of previous years of teams coming together to recognise NAIDOC round, and I'm sure it's something that the RDC will again be really keen to invest into this year. And lastly, before the end of the season, we want to do a massive thank you volunteer round, round 12, which will happen in early August. It's something that we started last year and we really want to enhance it next year. It's an opportunity for the players and also the parents to acknowledge the amazing work of volunteers and the time and effort that you put into our junior game. So some really great opportunities that each club can take this year in terms of recognising their volunteers, whether it's an event, whether it's volunteer profiling, whether it's a Kids v Volunteers match. We would love to see the stories so we can share them as well. And there's also an opportunity for you to submit a volunteer for the WA Volunteer of the Year Awards. So when that email comes through, we really encourage you to jump on and nominate a fellow volunteer. Okay, lastly from me, and we mentioned this last year at the Bouncedown, we're really keen to see and hear all the great stories that are happening in junior football round by round. Often football sometimes can get the bad rap with some incidents that hit the news, but we want to counteract that with great news stories. And there's so many of them, and we really encourage every club to share those great stories with us so we can promote it and sell what is a great game of football, junior footy. And how you can share your stories with us is simply tagging WAFC Metro Central on any club post or using the hashtag Spirit of Junior Football. It allows us to see the great news stories and allows us to share it as well. So some opportunities for you to continue to promote all the great stuff that's happening out there in community land. In closing, as your Community Development Manager, I just want to thank you again for the time that you're going to invest this year to enhancing the junior game. We thank you for all the work that you've done to get teams on the park this year. Good luck for this season. Have a safe, happy year, and we look forward to seeing you out there round 1 in a couple of weeks' time. I'm going to hand it over now to Dee Moore, who's going to update everyone on the competition space.
Okay, welcome everyone. My name's Dee Moore. I'm the competition team leader for Metro Central and probably well known to all of you. I'm here to present on the competitions component of our competition. You'll note the staff is listed on the screen now. I'm the team leader. We also have Claire Wiley, who's the competition administrator for the juniors, which incorporates the Year 3 to Year 6 and all female competitions. Katrina Fife is our competition administrator for the youth, which is Year 7 to Year 12, and these will be your key contacts throughout the season. Our contact details are there. Typically the registrars will deal with the competition administrators and myself with the presidents. Okay, now to competition updates. You'll see the season dates displayed on the screen. One of the key dates is obviously round 1, our opening round being the 29th of April to the 1st of May. From there, we regrade after round 5, which is the 30th of May to the 2nd of June. At that time, we'll consider all the teams and their positions, their scores, and how they've progressed to that point. And we will make determinations as to whether the team will remain in the same division or be placed in a more appropriate division. There are specific criteria for that, and we'll work through that to obtain the best competition objectives for all teams. We have a top 4 final series from Year 7 to 12, and those dates are listed in the blue. In terms of competition management, the competition team oversee fixtures, transfers, Play HQ, interchange reports, match day attendance, score adjustments, junior delegates meetings, rules and regulations, yellow and red cards, tribunals and appeals. We allocate the umpire allocations and support, the best and fairest nights and special events we organise, competition circulars, e-point breaches, and manage game day incidents. Our WAFC match day officials report to myself as the competition teams leader. They will be rostered to attend junior games throughout the region each weekend and provide valuable support to your club volunteers and to our competition staff. They help promote positive game day environments and provide feedback to the competition teams via an online form that we have, which informs us of what's happening in and around the grounds in our Metro Central region. Please make them feel welcome when they're at your club, and we thank them. They're a valuable asset in our team. Regrading, as mentioned, this will occur after round 5. If your competition is impacted by regrade by either a new team entering or a team being removed, the ladder will be reset, with all teams reverting to 0 premiership points and 0 percentage. Please note that negative E points will carry over. These include red and yellow cards, spectator and coaching citations, melees, and other breaches of rules and the regulations. If a competition is not impacted by any regrade, their points will carry over. Rules and regulations overview. The 2022 Junior Rules and Regulations Handbook is your footy Bible. It contains everything you need to know about match operations and more. Includes ground preparation, team sheets, match duration and the match rules. This can conveniently be found at the Kia WA Football Club Hub, and the link is displayed in the screen. This is kept as an active form and will be readily available to participants. Our key policies. Team managers should familiarise themselves with the following policies. Policy 1, member protection policy, communications policy, including social media, which is an important part of our game. Equal opportunity policy, which largely relates to game time. Drug and alcohol policy. Weather policy. Protective equipment policy. Vilification policy. Match operation policies. Photo and video policies. And True Sports Code of Conduct, which are specific to runners, coach, managers and club officials. All protective equipment requires WAFC approval. If you please contact your club registrar, who can submit the forms on your behalf if they are required. Please ensure that you are familiar with all the rules and regulations as detailed above and the policies, as they may come in handy during the season. Player rotation policy, equal opportunity. Under the equal opportunity policy, the role of the coach is to ensure that all players, regardless of age, size, gender, ability, or the competition they are playing in, are given an equal opportunity to play in a variety of positions on the field. This is important in allowing players to gain experience and learn and develop the skills of each position. Adhering to this policy and its intent ensures all players and parents feel they are getting a fair go and a part of the team, enhancing the overall participation in junior and youth football. Every player in a team must play at least 50% of a game. However, all players must play equal game time across the season. Each team is required to track players' game time every week utilising the Interchanger app. E-points. The purpose of the E-point system is to weight game day behaviour with the same importance as winning a match and reward teams for displaying positive game day behaviour. This system deters players, coaches and parents from engaging in negative game day behaviour prior to it taking place. The E-point model is applied to all competitions from Year 7 and above. A maximum of 4 E-points will be awarded per team per game for each completed regular season match. The team's behaviour, including that of players, team officials, support staff or spectators, will determine if any E-points will be deducted. 1 E-point will be deducted for every yellow card received, 2 E-points for every red card received, 4 E-points will be deducted for every melee. Any E-point that occurs during a break of play or after the final siren will have the E-points doubled, as the umpire does not have the ability to award a free kick. The loss of E-points cannot be appealed. I'll now hand over to Claire Wiley, our competition administrator, who will proceed through the rest of the presentation.
Thanks, Dee. So I'm Claire and I'll be looking after the year 3s and 6 and all the female competitions for season 2022. So the even up rule, so this is the WAFC policy point 15D. So the even up rule will apply when a team has less than the maximum number of players on the field. If a team cannot field the maximum numbers of players for that competition, the team with the greater numbers must offer additional players to the lesser number team until the team numbers compress of the maximum number of players or differ by 1. If an injury occurs during the even up rule, if a player is injured and the team has no players to replace the injured player, the opposing team must even up immediately. When a yellow or red card occurs during the even up rule, a player offered for a red card offence during the even up situation cannot be replaced for the remainder of the match. For the team utilising the even up rule, if a player receives a yellow card for the period spent off the field, the sampling rule as per the red card will be applied, not as per the injury instructions. Mercy rule. In youth grades, teams will only be credited with a winning margin of 60 points. This will be mercified by the competitions team. Please be mindful if a team is dominating another and this margin is exceeded, there are several effective methods that can be adopted to help equalise the teams. Consider player development over the winning margin. Adjust player positions, take this opportunity to rotate forwards, defenders and midfielders and provide them new learning opportunities and challenges for your team. Encourage players to kick and hand pass with their non-preferred foot and hand. Medical officers and trainer role for season 2022. Each team shall provide a team medical officer and a sports trainer with a current qualification. The team medical officer and sports trainer shall be clearly identified with their vest, which is white with a green cross. The team medical officer and sports trainer must not remove any players on a stretcher unless they have the necessary formal training and qualification to do so, which is an SMA Level 1 sports trainer course. Should a team fail to provide a qualified medical officer / sports trainer, then the opposing team trainer or medical officer should take their place. Stretcher policy, so this is WAFC policy 15I. Only authorised persons are permitted to enter the field of play to assist a player from the field. No team meetings or coaching is permitted during this time, and players must remain in their positions ready for recommencement of the play. If a play is carried off, as per the bottom picture, they can return to the field. If a player is taken off on a stretcher, they cannot return to the field. Protective equipment, so WAFC policy 08. So please refer to the below diagram and to determine whether a player's protective equipment requires approval by the WA Football Commission. Mouth guards and medic bracelets do not require approval. A medical bracelet must be taped and written medic on the tape. Helmets, glasses, knee braces do require approval. Glasses, jewellery and casques are not permitted at all. Team managers must be in possession of the approval paperwork to be able to show umpires and matchday officials when requested. Undergarments for year 3 to 6s only. In 2022, approval will not be required for year 3 to year 6 players to wear short length compression undergarments such as skins if they are black, beige or the primary colour of your club shorts. So approval is not required for vests, t-shirts or short skins. Approval will be required for long skins, both leg and arms. So all full-length compression garments will still require approval. So contact your club registrar who will submit the correct forms on the player's behalf and a photo must be included. So COVID-safe game day practices. All halftime snacks can be supplied in line with the WA government guidelines relating to COVID-19. Water runners are not permitted and all players should bring their own water bottles to games. Players are encouraged to hydrate well before and after the game and access their drink bottles via the interchange as required during intervals within the match. Concussion protocols. WFC policy 12. All clubs must treat concussions and all injuries with the utmost importance to ensure players' well-being is at the forefront of any decision on whether the player should return to train and play. The first aider has the final say to whether a player can return to the field. When in doubt, sit them out. Return to play after a concussion. So all concussions are to be reported to the competition administrators as soon as possible, but no later than 9 a.m. Monday following the game. The relevant medical report to allow the player to return to training and matches must also be supplied to the competition administrators before resuming training. All medical reports will be confidential and held by the competition staff and not shared with anyone. The reference 12 days is not standard wait and play, it is a minimum requirement, and all concussions should be treated as a unique assessment independently. Changes to the 2022 season. So Play HQ registration system. Once your club has given management access to the team you manage, log in to Play HQ. And under your name, you click the My Account and My Teams. You will see at the bottom that your team will be allocated to you. Clicking on your team will display the team's fixtures, including the status, the time and the location, the scores of previous games, ladders and your squad, players and volunteers, where you can access player contacts and details, including their emergency contact. If a player is injured or running late, you can contact them. Match day identification vests. The Metro Central team are excited to unveil our new look in 2022. The match day identification vests. The vests will be personalised with your club's name and will be provided a clear identification to all key volunteers in our coaches box. The team managers are to wear the teal team manager's vest or the Go 2 and 5 green vest. Coaches will have a dark blue head coach's vest. First aid will have a white vest with a green cross. Goal umpires will have a white goal umpire vest. Assistant coaches will have a light blue assistant coach vest. Runner will have a pink vest. Parent umpire will have a white volunteer umpire vest. Interchange steward will have a purple interchange official vest. And the ground marshal will have a red ground marshal vest. This is what our volunteer vest will look like. Game information. So match durations. So year 3 to 6 mixed and female competitions, you have 15-minute quarters. Year 7 to 12 female competitions will have 15-minute quarters. Year 7 to 8 mixed competitions will have 15-minute quarters. And year 9 to 12 mixed and male competitions will have 20-minute quarters. Breaks will remain the same as 2021. Please refer to age group rules for match operations rules regarding contact and competition rules. 2022 rule changes. So the runner age limit has increased to 18 plus and has been introduced for all junior football. The club umpire, an age limit of 18 plus, has been introduced for all junior football. Team numbers, all youth age group competitions will be able to have a bench of 5 players plus the following players on the field: 15 for 7 to 10, 16 for 11 and 12 females, and 18 for 11 and 12 males. The zone set up for youth after a reset will be 5, 2 on the wing, 3 in the centre and 5. The importance of having the wings is to have clear the ball away was identified as important in the game development by the WAFC talent and coaching staff. So we need to support the umpires. So umpires play a key role in the successful delivery of community football. Coaches, official players, parents play a vital role in developing the highest quality of umpires. There will be zero tolerance stance against any form of umpire or official abuse, verbal and disputing their decisions. Umpire feedback. So all umpire feedback should be directed to your club president. Your club president will review the feedback and be able to pass on the constructive and non-emotive feedback to the representative district umpire manager and the WAFC competition staff.
So before I get stuck into it, my name's Christian Tafili, some that don't know me, and I'm the Metro Central Coach Coordinator for the region. I'll give you a bit of a background in regards to my role and what I do. This is just a couple of key points, a couple of key focus points in terms of my role and what I do in our region. So building strong relationships with clubs, club coach coordinators and community coaches in the Metro Central region. Provide ongoing coaching support and guidance to all coaches throughout our region. Develop and deliver effective coach education workshops across the region. Ensure our coaches are 100% have 100% accreditation and are registered for the upcoming season. Uphold the Coach AFL Code of Conduct and positive game day environment, and a strong focus on fun, player development and retention. Moving into our coach accreditation for 2022. So if you're an Auskick coach, there's no requirement for you to be accredited, but it is desirable. If you like to jump on and do that, you can do it. But there's no need for you to do that if you're not wanting to do it. Modified coaches, you'll need to look and do your foundation junior course on Coach AFL, and our youth coaches foundation youth course on the Coach AFL platform. It's highly recommended at level 2 course for the eligible coaches who have been coaching in that youth space for more than 2 years. We've just finished our March course and we'll look to run another one in November this year, leading into next year. 100% online for the initial accreditation via the Coach AFL website, and currently accredited coaches still need to re-register for the upcoming season on Coach AFL through your membership and complete any mandatory online courses. Registrations and accreditation is free in 2022, which is a massive bonus for all coaches. So when you're doing your coach accreditation online on the Coach AFL platform, you will see the 4 tick boxes up on the presentation at the moment. The coaching profile, safe and inclusive coaching. These are the modules that you'll have to tick off as you're going through your accreditation. The code of conduct and the online renewal module as well. So as mentioned in the previous slide, the coach accreditation is free for 2022. And the process is a 3-step process, which I'll touch on a little bit more on the next slide. But it's important that this is done before round 1 of the community season starting. Once you've done your 3 steps for your accreditation, this will then link up to Play HQ, where you'll be able to be selected by your club and onto a team sheet come match day as well. So just making sure, it's important that when you are doing your Coach AFL accreditation, that you select the correct league and you select the correct club that you're coaching in. Otherwise, this won't link up through Play HQ and you won't be able to be selected. So pretty key, important information there when you're doing your coaching accreditation on the platform is to link that up, your coaching profile, and making sure that you put your league and your club in so you can be selected on a team sheet. With your Coach AFL membership, you get access to RM Coach and the Junior Coach curriculum. So I'll just touch on RM Coach here first, and the next slide we'll look at Junior Coach curriculum. With your accreditation, you get access to the Rookie Me online coaching platform, which includes an extensive library of training drills and session plans, coaching tools and resources. For those that have used it before, and I've had some really good feedback from coaches that it is a great resource to have. You might have your own suite of drills and activities that you do already, but you might grab another 2 or 3 from the RM Coach drill database and add them to your suite of drills that you roll out throughout the year. On that RM Coach, you've got online coaching profile, you've got over 400 online resources, accreditation programs, Junior Coaching curriculum, RM Coach, the database itself, Tackle Your Feelings, the online modules and the content hubs, state-based coaching workshops, and the communication and offers that you'll receive as well. All this can be seen through Coach AFL, so just making sure you have a good look around and explore when you do get onto the platform to have a look and see what's there for you. With the Junior Coach curriculum, it's been split into 4 levels. So we have level 4, level 5 and level 6. And it's designed for players, the level 4 is designed for players turning 7 and 8 who are transitioning from that Auskick to junior footy. This level focuses on skills needed to work as an individual. Then we move on to level 5, which is designed for players turning 9 and 10, beginning their transition to working in smaller groups. And then level 6 is designed for players who are under 11 and 12, focusing on skills needed to work as a part of a much larger team. So they can all be accessed through the Coach AFL platform. On the next slide, we'll look at how it breaks down a training session for you as well. So that obviously is of benefit for all coaches. So as just touched on there, our training schedule that you can look at when you're on the platform, it breaks it down from pre-game all the way through from quarter 1 to quarter 4, and it gives you a duration and a time as well. So that breaks your 70-minute session down nicely. You're not scrambling around trying to think of what am I going to do tonight at training. You can, like I said earlier, you can pull some stuff from this structure, or even something that you have previously or that you train at the moment. So just some things there in the pre-game. Unstructured play is important for skill acquisition, particularly with regards to developing creativity. So just let them experiment when they're in that pre-game or pre-training phase. Then you can move into your quarter 1, so it's that warm-up, energising them to get ready for that training session. The aim is to make the warm-up fun and engaging, so they're ready to go come when you want them to start training. Quarter 2, fundamental skills. The aim here is to practice the fundamental skills of football with a lot of repetition as well, and trying to make it as fun and inclusive as possible. Then obviously into quarter 3, just above that we've got decision making, and then we're into team tasks as well. So as you can see, it breaks it down there nicely for you, and then finishing off with a game. However that looks like, it may look like a small-sided handball game for you to finish off. It may look like a smaller grid in terms of kicking and handballing. Making sure you modify to your group as you know your group best and what will work for you. There's some helpful tips there that you can look at as you're going through the session structure. Just some key bylaws that I'll touch on from a coaching perspective. So spirit of the game, not focusing on winning at all costs, and understand that the role of a junior football coach is to foster the development of junior players, volunteers, umpires, coaches and officials. Learning to win and lose is part of that development journey. So it's important that you explain that to your group, to your players and to your parent group as well. Supporting umpires of junior football. Umpires play a key role in the successful delivery of junior footy. Coaches, officials, players and parents play a vital role in developing the highest quality umpires. All players, officials, parents and spectators are expected to adhere to the following. WA Football has a zero tolerance stance against any form of umpire or official abuse, verbal dissent, intimidation or disputing of decisions. As we go back to probably the early on when we look at our coaching platform and we go through a coach code of conduct, as a coach on there as well, so bringing the game into disrepute, these sorts of things in terms of the umpires does all come into it. And obviously coaches can be sanctioned and cited for stepping out of line as well. So just bear that in mind heading into season 2022. The game day player even up, most of us are aware of this, so I'll just touch on this as we briefly as we go through. The even up for modified rule year 3 and 6 and youth football from year 7 to 12, both male and female. The even up rule will apply when 1 or 2 teams have less than the maximum number of players for the competition. If a team cannot field the maximum number of players for that competition, the team with the greater number of players must offer additional players to the lesser numbered team until team numbers compromise the maximum number of players or even or differ by only 1. So with this one, it's important as well, if you know you're going to be going into the weekend or a game where you're going to be short on players, really good idea to reach out to the opposition coach that you're playing against leading into that weekend and have a discussion around how you're looking for numbers. Okay, we're looking a little bit low leading into this weekend, and having that open conversation, trying to break down those barriers before you get to the game on a weekend really helps your players, the opposition players and coaching staff. So that'll be something that I'll be able to circulate to coach coordinators in terms of if you're needing to speak to a coach heading into a weekend in regards to numbers or any other concerns, we'll be able to provide that with you and have that conversation with the other coach, so we just break down those barriers and makes for a really good game day environment. Game day play up or the even up rule. If a player is injured at and the team has no player to replace the injured player, the opposing team must even up immediately. A team captain may not call for a player count until the injured player is replaced. Players must be rotated so that no single player plays more than 1 quarter per match for the opposition team. So pretty straightforward there with that one to finish off the game day player even up. So just some key competition laws in terms of a coaching perspective here. Just some general ones. So a team for any match shall have a coach who is subject to the same investigations and penalties as a player, including suspensions, sanctions and fines, which I just touched on previously in regards to the code of conduct. Coaches must play all eligible players up to the maximum allowed in both home and away and finals matches throughout the season. Coaches must adhere to the equal opportunity policy for players in all games, including finals. So there's a policy that you can refer to there. If you're having some confusion, make sure you check in with your club and your committees as well in regards to that one. With our accreditation, only accredited coaches will be able to be selected on team sheets. So all head coaches must be accredited as age-appropriate foundation coach via Coach AFL prior to round 1, community season starting. All assistant coaches must be accredited as age-appropriate foundation coach prior to round 1 as well this year. And just some key points for the coaches box. So all coaching staff must remain within the coaches box. Only listed coaching staff can remain in the coaches box. So if you're not listed on the team sheet, you obviously can't remain inside the box. So it's just the maximum of 5 people in total inside that coach's box as per it was in 2021. That stays the same, nothing changes. So bearing in mind, it's a maximum of 5 inside the box, and all coaches, head coaches and assistant coaches must be accredited before round 1. In regards to some of the workshops that we offer up at the WAFC, so we host sessions throughout the year, and we host a range of topics that clubs can choose from, and that's facilitated by myself. So we have game day coaching, junior and youth, separate, tackling physical presence, junior and youth separate, fundamentals, basic skill acquisition and technique, effective training, fun and engaging training sessions, designer games and small-sided games, which is all-encompassing, and then training session visits, which is a new one for this year. So in terms of if you've seen a lot of these workshops before and your coaches have, there's an opportunity for me to come out to your training sessions throughout the season and work with modified coaches, youth coaches, both in the male and female space, coming out to your sessions and just rolling around to each of your groups, jumping in where I can, providing feedback where I can and answering questions. So a bit like we call it hands-on training, where I'm coming out and working closely with your coaches throughout that hour, 2, 3 hours, whichever long. If you start at 4 p.m. and wrap up at 6, then I can make myself available for that time and head out there as well. We do offer Taku Feeling, so that's a workshop that we've run in the past and we'll run again this year. It's a free program run by a local psychologist, which we help coordinate, which aims to provide community coaches with the tools to understand, recognise and manage their response to signs of mental health in their players. So the players that you're seeing once or twice a week that you're coaching, just giving you an idea on recognising that change of behaviour and some steps to help you going further. Your club coach coordinators will book those sessions in, so make sure you have a conversation with your club coach coordinator in regards to the workshops that are on offer, something that you may interest you or a group of coaches, if it might be modified or youth, making sure you have that conversation. They can then feed back through to me via email, and we can look to lock that away, one session for the 2022 season. We've got some key coaching links that are pretty beneficial. You've got the Coach AFL website, which we spoke about previously at the start in terms of the resources, how great they are on there. Spend some time, have a look through the RM Coach and the Coach AFL platform. There's a Facebook page that you can log on to as well and have a look. Some of the networks on there as well, Coach AFL network and the community coaching positions and jobs if you're looking to take that next step with your coaching. So that is all from me in terms of our coaching brief for 2022. If any coaches out there have any questions or concerns leading into the season, feel free to reach out to me via phone or email, or even go through your coach coordinator. I'm more than happy to help out any way that I can. I'd like to wish you all the best for the upcoming season. Stay safe, and I'll see you around the grounds. Thank you.